Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Get your green gear 25% off. Promo code Jericho1, all caps, and the number 1. So, yesterday, I talked about Gavin Newsom getting on going out on the balcony of his palace and decreeing to us that we can reopen and resume normal life without any COVID-19 sweet and sour sniffles, mandates, or rules. It's almost like he was a ruler from long ago giving us a glimpse of his kindness, his kindness. Like, taxpayers of California, I have found it in my benevolent heart, that I will allow you, wretched peasants, the freedoms that I removed from you in the year past. So, on June 15th, the year of our Lord 2021, you can get together with your disgusting families in time for Independence Day. Thank you so much, Gavin, for giving us back our lives, for loosening your grip. Thank you. I dare not gaze upon your royal face. Ain't that some shit? So, and I don't think it's a coinky dink that he is reopening California just around the time we're about to kick off this recall election. Because I think it was the latest I could find was late March. They need basically 1.5 million verified signatures. There were 2.1 million signatures collected, far more than necessary. But there needed to be a cushion. So 2.1 million signatures collected. So far, it was like 1.1 million, 1 point something million had been verified. So there were around 350,000 more signatures to be verified before we can put this to a special election. So it's starting to get a little hot in there for Gavin, even though he resides in hell with his demonic aunt. I think I've said it before, I think that's why his voice is so raspy. It's because the air in hell is so hot that it kind of scorched his vocal cords a little bit. But even for him, starting to get a little hot under the collar. So now he's going to reopen California. Now, you may or may not know, but in 2003, we had a governor named Gray Davis, and he had this little issue with rolling blackouts and some other things, but that was his main claim to fame. So he got recalled. And right now, some of the polls are saying that only 40% of Californians would vote for a recall right now. Now, the recall I don't think it would take place until June. Oh, wow. Recall vote in June, open California in June. So, at the time when he got recalled, and he actually did get recalled, that's how he got, so when they took the polls then, it said that only 33% of Californians approved of a recall, and it still happened. So numbers change, people's minds change. How right now there are only 40% of those polled that think that recalling him would not be a good idea. How easily and how quickly we forget. Do you not forget the rolling blackouts, the scorched earth, the shitty infrastructure, the low performing schools, The ridiculous laws and rules that they put above the needs of the citizens, the high taxes. Why is it $1 something across the border in Nevada to get gas? But here, we're sniffing $4.50 a gallon. There's a gas station down the street from my house where the cheap shit is $4.05. So how do we forget all that and only 40% of people polled would support a recall of this piece of shit? Forget the power going out, people wondering whether or not their food is going to spoil or their medication. That was a year ago, 2 years ago. Who were always constantly on fire due to mismanagement, but only 40%. But like I said, back when Gray Davis got recalled, there were only 33% that approved. Gray Davis sounds really good right now. But we're on our way. About 350,000 more signatures need to be verified, and this shit will be put to a vote. Now, like I've said many times, California will not be out stupided. Usually when I say that, I'm referring to our leaders, those elected officials. I hope that the people of California will take this opportunity to reclaim our once great state before they stole it from us and tried to give it away. That's why they're doing this no voter ID. I've been saying for a long time. Illegals are their new voting bloc, their new power source, the new battery in their back. And whatever they need to do to make it easier for them to pull the lever for them, then they will. That's why you got places like San Fran shithole, aka Needles and Shit, California. You have them allowing illegals to vote and just, hey, it's just city council issues. It's just school board issues. Nothing major. It's not like they're voting for the mayor or the governor yet. So I will keep you abreast to that situation as promised. Now, if you remember those two little monsters, those two little burdens on our taxes that killed that Pakistani immigrant when they tried to carjack him and steal his car with a taser, he made the mistake of standing up for his livelihood. That's how he brought in money. He wasn't Uber driving because it sounded like fun. He needed something to take him away from his family. No, he was doing it to make money. Taking his car is taking his money. So how foolish of him to stand up for it, especially in the face of two kids, 13 and 15, are the ages of these two monsters who killed this man. Now, one of them can be seen at the scene of the crime. This man is laying face down with his skull crushed into the pavement, blood leaking profusely from his wounds. Arms and legs all tangled up and broken, all disfigured. And I don't know if it was a 13-year-old or the 15-year-old. They're standing feet from his body. This girl could have reached her foot out and tapped that man's body. That's how close she's standing to not only a murder victim, but a dead body. And this girl says, my phone is in there. I need to get my phone out of the car that was turned over on its side after they crashed it and flung this man to his death. Now, the reason I'm reiterating that is to let you know that these girls will not face any prison time. The 13-year-old, due to DC law, the 13-year-old is too young to face time for that. The 15-year-old, she'll be tried as an adult, but she's going to get a plea deal. So they're not going to serve any prison time, even though they took somebody's life. Whether intentionally or not, your actions resulted in someone's premature death. So you must pay. You ever seen that movie Sleepers? Where these boys in Hell's Kitchen, I think it's in the 60s, they decide it's a good idea to steal this man's hot dog cart. He gives chase. He tries to catch his cart. They let it go. So what they do, they steal the hot dogs. They let the cart go so the man will chase the cart and not chase the boys. The cart ends up going down some stairs and hits this man, pins him up against the wall, and nearly kills him. So these boys got to go pay. They were 12, 13, maybe 11. It's actually a good movie. There's some good revenge in there. But these boys were young, but they still had to pay. They had to go to this home for boys or some kind of detention center. They needed to know that there are consequences for your actions. Now, these girls are just going to be let back into the neighborhood. They're going to come home, I'm sure, to some kind of celebration because they stuck it to the man and got away with it. That's how these hardened little beasts were engineered. They grew up around no value of life. They grew up around that shit. That's why they didn't see a problem with a dead body laying 2 feet away saying, I need to get my fucking phone. Now, we've all done dumb shit when we were young, between the ages of 13 and 15. Maybe it resulted in someone being hurt or killed. I don't know. Not for me. But I did dumb shit. Yes, you're a kid, but you're of an age where you know the difference between right and wrong. And once that takes place, you must be punished for the things that you do. Also, their parents should be punished because you created these little fuckers. You created these two girls who thought nothing of carjacking somebody with the taser. And then when they took off in the car, what did they think? They thought this was a movie? He would just let go and tuck and roll, and they're just gonna fucking drive off into the sunset laughing, blasting the latest fucking retarded B song, singing about WAP? Like, what the fuck? I know you're kids and you don't grasp the concept of death and the permanence of it, the finality of it. I realize that. But you need to pay. Your negligence, your actions, your whatever the fuck resulted in someone's death, a violent death. And you stood there, this just happened. This is fresh. You're not going to be more fucked up by what just happened than you are right now. Seconds after she killed somebody, she wants her phone. For what? So what, you can duck lips in front of his body, take a selfie with him, go live? What'd you want your phone for? To call the NIMS? You know, Mama Nim, Grandmama Nim. Because these are the environments that these little monsters are created in. These aren't the Huxtables. These are the Megan Thee Stallions. This is a product of retarded B. This is the product of women's empowerment. It's empowering to slide down a pole and do a 3-way tongue of each other on stage at a mainstream fucking primetime TV program. Yes. At the Grammys, retarded B, Megan Thee Stallion, which is a male horse, whatever, and some other hood rat, were up there 3-way tonguing each other. What do you call that? What kind of kiss is that? I don't know. Anyway, it's a 3-way kiss. They're all licking their nasty tongues together. You know there was an STD in there somewhere. Out of those 3, there was some chlamydia, some gonorrhea, something in there. Something that you need an ointment for. But, struck a plea deal, they won't see any jail time. So what does that tell them? What does that tell people around them? And why do they get these plea deals? Because they're so young? Is it because they're so black? If 2 little white teenagers killed some colored immigrant in the same manner, will they get the same treatment? I don't know. Or maybe I do. Maybe we do know the answer to that. But what message does that send to them? Most of all. That you could do something is wrong. And it's not like it was an accident. It's not like they took that man's life in some innocent way to where we would have sympathy for them. We would have sympathy for those poor girls. They didn't mean to do that. But they did mean to do that. They knew something like them. I don't know how fast that car was going, but that shit took off like a shot. They had to be doing 70, 80 miles an hour as they broadside 2 stationary objects and crushed that man's body. But no jail time. Come here, let me see your wrist. It won't hurt. Don't worry. There you go. That's what happens when you take a human life. Pull up your sleeve and see your wrist. That's it. Go back to the hood. So that tells them we're untouchable. You think those girls are going to sit there and go, we really got away with one. We got a second chance at life. We need to straighten this shit up. We need to turn over a new leaf. We need to become new and better people. We need to help this community. We need to stop things like this from happening again. We need to get in touch with other people in our age group and let them know that this type of behavior is wrong. Come on. Come on. It's DC. That's where all the criminals are. Whether they wear suits and are behind tall fences protected by the National Guard, or whether they're killing Uber Eats drivers and asking about their fucking phone. Man, please, let me get home to my beautiful wife and kids. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Get your Jericho Green, get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.